The Sony RX10 M2 is small and compact and has a lot of great features packed into it. But when it comes to shooting video, the manual is not that great, so here's how I set it up to shoot video. Hi, I'm Grant and I bought this camera for shooting video. To get the most out of it for shooting video takes a bit of figuring out, and this is how I set it up to fully utilize its many great video capabilities. First up, to take full advantage of the high frame rate recording capabilities for super slow-mo in this camera and the Sony XAVC format, you have to have a SD XC card, which will be 64 gig and up, and it also needs to be a UHS speed class U3, otherwise it will not let you take advantage of this functionality. Next up, turn the click function under the aperture ring off for smooth aperture control. Set your focus mode at the bottom of the camera to C for continuous. Rotate your mode dial to the film strip icon, which will now put it in video mode. Now we're going to dive into the menu settings for shooting video. Two ways of accessing the menu settings, either through the menu button here or through the function button above the dial, the rotary dial there. I'm going to use this one up here, which is the most common one. Scroll across to the toolbar or the toolbox menu, and then scroll down and go into the second menu. Scroll down for the NTSC PAL selector for your country, NTSC for North America, Asia, Japan, and PAL for Europe, most of Europe, England, Australia, New Zealand. So select your country system there. I'm actually a PAL country, but I'm going to select NTSC because a lot of these people that watch this video are actually in NTSC countries, and it'll make it easier to follow along. Next up, scroll back to the main camera settings menu, scroll down, and then go to menu 2, and we're going to choose the file format here. This is where you'll choose either MP4, AVC HD. I'm going to choose XAVC, which is Sony's format, and that's 1080 HD. If you want 4K, that's the next one up there, but we're going to shoot in 1080. Scroll down to record setting. This is where you set your frame rate, and I'm just going to shoot it in the standard 30p at 50 megabits a second. You can also choose, this is where your 24p and your faster frame rates of 60p and 120p will be. Let's scroll across to the fifth menu, and just make sure creative style and picture effect are both off. Scroll into menu 6, still on the camera menu, and picture profile. This is where you set your preferred picture profile from picture profile off, which is the standard, and this is 1 through 7. Number 7 is the Sony, this is where you find the Sony S-Log2 picture profile. I prefer picture profile 4, which is a Rec 709 look. You can also tweak these settings even further by hitting the right side of the control dial or the control wheel, rotary wheel here, and you can actually get into all sorts of settings here and to tweak the look that you are after in each profile. The only other thing I use in here is the smile face detect, and I turn that on, and this can help the camera if you're using autofocus. On to menu 8, movie. This is where you can set the camera between full auto, aperture priority, shutter priority, manual. The only two ones I use in here are the P for program or auto mode, or M for manual. Let's set manual. You can also get this or access this menu through the function button here, and to tweak your camera between manual and auto basically. Steady shot on, steady shot standard, and I don't touch anything else in there. Menu 9, I turn the wind noise reduction off. Right. Scroll across to the cog menu, and I turn zebra on. This is personal preference, but I set my zebra at 100%. The next menu 2 in the cog menu, I use mid for the peaking level, and I use a red, but that's personal preference. Menu 3, make sure zoom setting is on optical zoom only. We don't want digital zoom. And menu 4, this is another personal preference, find a monitor. The LCD on the back has a proximity sensor, so when you put your eye to it, it enables the viewfinder, the display in the viewfinder to come on. So you can use your eye to watch it or there. So that's personal preference again. So auto, or else you can lock it so it's just on the LCD or just on the viewfinder. Menu 5 is where you set which particular functions of the camera that you can assign to the function button. And I'll show you where that is. So if I go in here, I've actually assigned all the video functions to this quick menu here, such as my picture profiles, manual or auto, my white balance, ISO, and all the other video functions. Custom key functions is where you can assign different functionality of the camera to the physical buttons on the camera. For example, I've assigned the C1 button, which is just above here, and I've used that to toggle the ISO. I've put my ND filter on-off button onto my C2 button here, and I've used my center button here, and I've assigned that for toggling between manual and autofocus. I've also assigned the focus magnifier to the right side of the rotary wheel. Again, personal preference on which functionality you'd like. So now you are good to go for shooting in manual mode. Your C1 button controls your ISO, your C2 button controls whether you want the ND filter on and off. You select your shutter using the wee dial at the top here, and I use the middle button for toggling the autofocus on and off. Now you're good to go, so get out there and shoot some video. I'm currently putting together a more comprehensive course on shooting video with the Sony RX10 M2, covering such things as its high frame rate recording, the Sony S-Log2, picture profiles, and more. If you're interested, I'll put a link in this video and in the description below to my website where you can leave your email, and I will let you know when that course is ready. As always, thanks for watching.